Hello, this is Stan Dubin, and welcome to the Hiring Tips Podcast. The name of this tip is Contribution Goes Both Ways. A good number of us are searching for that new employee who will come on board and contribute at a very high level. We envision this person quickly grasping the duties of the position and working hard and smart. We see this person getting along super well with other employees, being extra productive, and in just about every way, being an ideal employee. So, is there anything wrong with this picture? Of course not. There's everything right in wanting that phenomenal employee who not only produces like mad, but helps others around them produce more than usual. So I'll mention two components here that will help you attract and keep such an employee. 1. Advertise to prospective employees that you're looking for people who want to contribute at a very high level and who expect that same contribution coming back to them. And 2, deliver on your end of it. I'm going to assume you're willing to carry out number 2 here. So, what are some ways you can do that? Well, the obvious one is to pay someone what they're worth. If they produce like gangbusters for you, and their contribution has a tangible effect on your bottom line, well, then exchange accordingly. But there are other ways to contribute back to real producers. The first and most overlooked one is acknowledging them for what they do. When they produce well, let them know you appreciate it. Bob, you did a fabulous job with that client. Mary, you really handled the daylights out of the reception area. It makes a real difference around here. Frank, I really appreciate you putting in the extra time to get that project done. You're a real lifesaver. A little acknowledgement goes a long way. Just remember the last few times someone genuinely validated you for a job well done. There are other ways to show your appreciation, perks of various kinds. The key point of this tip is the best way to attract and keep top producers is to convince them you know that contribution goes both ways and then keep your end of it. Thank you for listening. If you're enjoying this podcast, and if you're getting something valuable from it, could you take a minute or two and go over to iTunes and leave us a review? Also, feel free to subscribe to the podcast. They show 50 different shows at any given time, but when you subscribe, you'll find that there's well over 100 shows. And each one of those is a valuable tip that will help you make better hiring decisions. When you're over at iTunes, you can simply enter into the search area there the phrase hiring tips, and then it'll take you to the podcast right away. The Hiring Tips is brought to you by the Employee Testing Center. We have an employee testing service that will help you hire better staff. It's very accurate, easy to understand, and delightfully affordable. Watch our 3-minute video at getbetterstaff.com. That's getbetterstaff.com. Our podcast does not represent legal advice. Employment law can vary from state to state. So please consult an attorney familiar with the law that applies to the area where your business is located for any legal questions specific to your company.